This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Mothership role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is a well-oiled machine. It was written by Llewellyn, who is also our warden, and this is a one-shot. It's the new year, and we are planning for a lot of new games. We rely on you to keep our club alive and growing. You can use the QR code on the screen to link to our Patreon site. This also allows us to bring you our content without commercials or advertisements. Your support is much appreciated. So without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
What started as a normal day on the colony of Artemis turned into a scene of fright and horror. 30 minutes ago, a Cantwell Industrial Systems vessel, designated the CIS-277, experienced some kind of catastrophic malfunction, exploded in high orbit, and its ruins have rained down across the colony surface. At this moment, explosions and fires are ripping out across the surface of the planet, and the colony's emergency protocols have gone into action. The five of you have been notified that you are now part of Emergency Response Team 277, and to get to a designated a designated collection point for further instructions. The colony's population is around 100,000. So given the size, the scope, many of you have probably never seen any of the others before this very moment. So we'll start with all of you arriving at the collection point.
Please, everyone, stay calm. Move in rank and file. I can ask me if you need my assistance. Please ask. Please move along. Move along.
What can I do to help?
I'm sorry, I am a utility android. I can assist.
Oh,
I can't
whatever.
direct.
You know,
What
Becky,
a-
they're reliable, but not very creative, these androids. You gotta
Yeah,
tell them what to do.
I'm not used to working with androids, I guess.
No, plants are much nicer.
I can see from your uniforms you are scientists.
I, Dr. Kane,
Y-
planetologist.
Yes. Becky Martin, exobiologist.
PAL E8, utility android. Don't panic.
Oh,
Everything will be okay.
thanks a lot, Pally 8.
God damn, what a mess out there. I haven't seen devastation like that since the revolt on Gamma 5.
You were on Gamma 5?
It got messy, but nothing like this.
Oh my God.
There's hab blocks burning back there that are going to be going through the night, through to most of tomorrow, I'm sure. So this is it? This is the team?
277.
That's us. There's one more, and I'll turn to Dr. Johnson. I haven't met you. I'm Barker Kane.
No, sorry, I was just adjusting some of my dials on my machine. Yeah, I'm Miriam Johnson. I'm here, physicist, and right now my physicist analysis of this ship is that it's falling out of orbit and going to crush us. So, not good.
Yeah, and as you say
Yeah.
that, Miriam, you you've been running your calculations. I mean, these Cantwell industrial ships, like these are heavy, massive, almost impossible to comprehend size vessels that they're pretty much known for dropping prefabricated colonies onto planets. Like they house tremendous amounts of vehicle equipment, basically building a whole infrastructure from nothing. So to have one of these falling on your head is no small matter.
Well, an asteroid creates a crater 10 times its size or 10 times its volume, and then that displaces stuff into the air and basically means that we'll be vaporized. Uh, so looking forward to that.
Oh
The
my
earthquake
God.
remains.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is going to boil first, so yeah, we'll literally be vaporized.
Well,
It's
can we
not
go
figurative.
underground?
No.
Well,
The
how do we
earthquakes
get
will be
off the
taken
surface
care
then?
Well, I hope someone else can figure that out because I'm out of ideas right now.
So you could all get 1d6 stress at this point.
of. Awesome.
Damn it.
6.
Oh, it already crashed? I thought the ship
It's falling from the sky at this point.
yeah, it's fallen
Okay.
already. Yes.
Yeah,
So there's bits of it that have already hit the ground.
already hit me
Um,
on there.
It exploded. Yes.
Yeah, it exploded. And
Okay.
so parts of
And-
it have already reached the surface. Part of it's still tumbling
In
down.
orbit and will
Mhm.
crash all over the planet.
And am I right in
I'm not
assuming that
sh-
it's big enough to cause earthquakes and tsunamis and that kind of thing?
Depending on what size falls and hits, it can cause substantial damage.
Part of it will burn up in the atmosphere, but larger chunks will hit. I don't think, though, with the velocity of meteorites or asteroids.
With the mass.
So, with that being said, at your little collection point, the screen kind of comes to life. And
They're
on
receiving
it,
a transmission.
you see, as I consult my notes without my second monitor here. My apologies. Chairwoman of the colony, Cynthia Burrows, appears on the screen. Says, "Attention, all personnel and citizens of Artemis. I am declaring a colony-wide state of emergency. Disaster mitigation efforts will go into immediate effect, and many of you have already received your emergency designation to become part of the response team per disaster response protocol. We know that you are not specialists in this field, but still we need every single hand that we can spare. Fires are going on all across the colony. Certain designated response teams, with whom I am speaking now, you have a slightly different task on your hands. The ship that is raining down on us right now is carrying God knows what. We need to find out. We need to go and recover either the ship's flight recorders or manifest, any possible thing that survived, or find any survivors. We detected multiple controlled descents. Unfortunately, these are scattered across impact zones, but we need to find somebody who was on that ship. We need to know what they were carrying, to see what risks it poses, this whatever material has fallen from the sky.
Hmm.
God.
Knowing
Okay.
knowing the relative mass of this planet, could I calculate and the rate of descent of the ship? Could I calculate like how massive the ship is? Like how much it weighs?
Without knowing the full, I mean, this is um, basically you would the what I call it, like the central mass, the central point of impact, um, is causing a crater Um, that is
What was the
expected
name of the
to
ship
be
again?
50 kilometers wide.
Oh, that's not good.
CIS 277. It's the ship's designation.
Interesting. There's no chance there's any EV suits that we can have access to or anything like that.
All details will be provided via readout. Good luck, Godspeed. So this computer terminal shows you a couple of things that you are going to be provided with.
Good.
You have you'll be given a low-flying shuttle, a number of short-range scouting drones, full protective suits, um, pods of fire and chemical suppressants, um, decontamination equipment, communications gear, recording devices. Um, and it's not an exhaustive list. If something comes
Yeah.
up and it's like it makes
Stuff.
sense for you to be provided this, like you'll have it. So
Stuff for radiation, anything like
yeah,
that.
right. So not going to make a full exhaustive list, but you have
You're equipped.
if you're going to respond to an emergency that's possibly chemical, fire, radiation, etc., like you have.
Good stuff.
Green Hendricks, do you have any experience piloting a ship?
A little bit. Can't say I'm a pro at it, but I can get us off the ground at least. You want to co-pilot?
I have no experience at all.
At this
I'm
point,
also not experienced at fire suppression. However, I can take directions.
your conversation is interrupted by this deafening crash. You're almost deafened for a moment.
Holy
The ground
shit.
starts to shake.
Holy shit.
Oh my God, what was
The
that?
emergency, like eventually, the ears stop, like
Ringing.
decompress, like they stop ringing, and you just hear like these emergency sirens going off. The sky has gone dark.
Let's get the fuck to the shuttle. I mean, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I've half a mind to pick it up and just head the other direction, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, there's a whole colony of people that we have to save.
I think me and Cynthia are going to be talking about my rates when this is over, but yeah, let's head over.
Okay,
Green
so
Hendricks,
as
I'm not sure that
you're
Go ahead.
as you're going, reports are coming in. So while there is widespread colony damage, that massive impact is being reported as smashing into Habitation Zone 8. Habitation Zone 8, has a population of about 15,000 people.
Oh my God.
It is the primary agricultural center of the colony.
I think I would just like immediately start like holding back tears.
I'll as we're running, I'll come beside Becky and just like put my hand on her shoulder and squeeze a little bit.
Oh my God. I
To
had
keep going.
so many friends.
This is our duty to them, Becky. This is what we have to do.
Oh my God.
Doesn't mean that some of them didn't make it out to evacuation zones. Hang on to hope for now. We can only do what we can do.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie to you folks, though. That could be the death wound to the whole colony right there. After this, things get rough. It's gonna get a lot rougher in the days to come.
And your orders have been updated to conduct your central risk assessment for long-term threats at the impact site of
Well-
Habitation Zone 8.
What's the botanist's opinion? Are all the plants dead after getting hit with a spaceship?
I think very probably that agriculture is going to take a little bit of time to recover. But volcanic ash can be very, very fertile in the long run, so this could have a
I mean,
I think
from what I've seen, it's going to take decades for this biome to recover.
it's accurate.
And that's just from what I've seen. We don't even know what chemicals are going to rain down from the atmosphere in the next 24 hours.
The radiation, the ice age due to the ash.
I calculate an 80% probability that the colony leaders have contacted homeworlds and have asked for aid. However, it should take quite some time before they arrive.
Yeah, and in the meantime, scared and desperate people become angry people pretty damn quick.
And angry people get violent.
Okay,
Well, let's worry about the immediate
Here's the
threat for
shuttle.
now.
yeah, let's focus.
Here's the shuttle. I'll open
Yeah.
it. We're-
Yeah, you climb inside your shuttle and you take off. And as you do, just out of the windows, you see these plumes of smoke and bursts of fire kind of across. I mean, this colony hub where you're at, I mean, is kilometers across. Like it's and yeah, there are fires breaking out where debris has hit. Um, and in front of you, yeah, is this massive cloud of dirt and debris, um, starting to fall like rain, all these jagged rocks and dust and dirt.
I will monitor the airspace and give you suggestions if you need to avoid falling debris.
Sounds good.
It's like some kind of bad dream.
I keep
Definitely a
hoping I'll
nightmare.
wake up.
Well, we just got to find the largest remaining intact piece of the ship we can and start there.
What's your? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I to myself in the back of the ship, not holding the screen so other people can't see it, will turn on my bioscanner to look at Hab 8. Is there anybody alive? Is there anything alive?
So habitation zone 8,
Which is where
Is
we're
it-
headed now, right?
yeah, right. So so habitation zone 8, um, is about 100 kilometers away from where you are.
Okay.
Um, but the massive plume of material is definitely coming from that direction. So you're too far away now to do a sweep of such a wide area. But you're also experiencing there's a ton of interference from all the material, as well. So far um, there was all this communication about coordinating disaster efforts, and Habitation Zone 8 has gone pretty silent.
You say it's a plume coming from one sort of specific area, though?
Yeah, so there's lots of widespread damage, but this major impact hit
Can
about
we see
100 kilometers away.
Oh my
can we
God.
see-
I can see from here the half the Tridia forest is completely charred.
It's years
Marine
to grow
Hendrix.
some clones.
Marine Hendrix, that large yellow cloud on the right is
Yeah, I got it.
quite toxic.
Shit. Okay, yep. We'll bank around here.
Is that what is that? Hydrogen sulfide?
Hydrogen dichloro something or other.
Hydrogen nasty, don't want to
Mustard
go
gas.
through it.
My God, that's the most dangerous chemical in the universe. What's your guys' opinion on blowing up the ship in orbit? Because from my understanding, if it's in smaller pieces, like a meteor shower, it could just burn itself up over a wider surface area.
I think that it did blow up in orbit.
Yeah, it just something, again, you don't know what happened. but the ship was in orbit and then it exploded.
So
All right.
part of
So
it
we
is
might
raining
not be.
down.
So the larger pieces have been hitting the surface, but the total mass of the thing isn't like.
Part of it got blasted into higher orbit and will come down later. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, but we should investigate this big chunk to see if we could find any record of what it was and what it was carrying.
Do
Well,
we?
yeah, things might not be so bad then, because depending on the distance, it might be very unlikely that we get hit. Well, obviously we're getting hit right now, but unlikely that we get hit with an amount that's going to be terminal to the colony's survival.
How
I'm just
unlikely is unlikely?
It depends on where the ship exploded and how big it was and how powerful the explosion was.
Well, that's a
And
great comfort.
if
I'm
the
just
core
checking
is
the scan.
radioactive, has the
Yeah,
core
that's
poisoned
another
the
issue.
atmosphere of the whole planet?
Shit. I'm just checking the scanner now to see if there's any other ships like ours. Are there any other teams headed towards Hab 8?
There are a number of teams that are heading that direction. You see some going to try to stop the massive forest fire that has broken out. You see others kind of sweeping out. So basically, there's a number of ships that you see you're all kind of converging um,
I
on
imagine anybody who
habitations of eight.
could be conscripted into helping is helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've got suits. We need to get on the ground and get in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you reach and eventually you hit this cloud, and you can no longer see anything out the windows.
Blind here.
Use-
Are the engines going to be okay in this?
I'm sure
There-
they'll be okay. Short term, anyways. But yeah, I might want to set down
you hear
some
this awful gritting sound through
crap.
the air intakes.
Well, it might be time to proceed on foot if anyone has any objections.
Could prefer that about now.
There seems to
Llewellyn.
be a small clearing over there.
Yeah, good eye, pal. I'm gonna sit down. Okay, everyone hang on. This could be a little rough.
And yeah, the shuttle comes to a stop.
On rubble, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, keep your eyes open. If there's any after hits still coming, it could wake us up, that's for sure.
Be sure to adjust your masks.
The chances of a double tap are low, not non-existent, but low.
Glad
How
to hear
low is
that.
low, Dr. Johnson?
Less than 1%.
I can work with that.
Okay.
Lived through
So
worse.
as you step outside, this clearing that you found, you discover it to be the roof of a habitation block.
We go
Is there
inside and just
something? Yeah.
work our way down.
But
So
I thought
you-
this was a transport ship.
I think it's a part of the colony that we've landed on, and we have to traverse it to get to the fragment. Can we tell what way it is from here?
Yeah, probably it's all.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean,
Flaming in
looking
that
around,
direction.
it's looking around, it's all dust and smoke, and your little GPS system has some life in it. The signal's fairly weak, but you know what direction to go at this point.
I'd like to turn back on the bioscanner now that we have our boots on the ground. Is there anyone alive in the building below us or within like 100 meters or so?
You sweep, and at first you don't get anything. And then you get a faint little blip.
I think I've detected a survivor. Should we attempt to recover them or continue?
We better try.
Continue. Right. And yeah.
Well, while I'm following along in the back, I think I'd like to use. I have a laptop
Mhm.
portable computer terminal. So I was thinking I might try to look up this ship designation CIS 277 and see if there's any information available about it, including like if it's a transport ship, like what's the volume of the container that it can transport, what anything that it might have transported recently, or any places that it goes between, anything really.
So yeah, so you find that the CIS 277 was a long haul industrial ship. So it would basically take things manufactured in industrial centers, um, and then carry them out to colonies, far-flung colonies like Artemis. So Artemis is basically one stop along its route. You're not the first stop, but you're not the last stop. So it's probably already disgorged some of its materials to other planets. You were just the next stop. From your colony's records, you were just having some habitation blocks delivered to facilitate population expansion. A pretty routine kind of delivery. Beyond that, all other deliveries are under strict NDA. So one
Habitation
colony,
blocks. So it's actually conceivable that what's crashed here on the ground isn't something that we had habitants in, but it is actually something that was being transported in the ship itself.
right?
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, they could be anything from they could deliver chemical processing plants, they could be delivering hab blocks, they could be delivering shuttles like the one you flew
Whole
here. They could be
facilities.
delivering.
Yeah.
So they're basically this massive industrial shipping ship.
What was
I'm
that
gonna-
about the
Yes.
other stuff being under NDA? Everything else is under NDA. All the other shipping
so
links?
Artemis as a colony has no idea
Where else it goes?
what else it was carrying, where else it was going. Um, they just knew it was making a delivery here, and what they were delivering here.
I'm going to warn you all
So-
right now. Oh,
So
go
that
ahead.
is like
On the bright side, it's added a lot of industrial materials to our planet that
That's true.
they probably
There's-
won't recover.
There's a silver lining. I was going to warn you all too that I am armed. I do have a wet firearm with me just in case. I know that seems strange in a rescue operation, but people can be disoriented or confused.
I am going to go into loudspeaker mode and project a message. Basically, if you are in distress and you can hear us, try to make yourself known. Rescue is coming. If you are ambulatory, make your way through the ruins towards the east. There is less wreckage in that direction. Something like that.
okay, you start calling that into the dust cloud.
Yeah, as we're going along.
Yeah. So and Barker, you expressed interest in going after that life sign, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We're all sticking together.
Yes.
So you find that the habitation block is depowered, so the doors themselves won't open.
Okay.
And there are manual overrides. Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's Pally's demonstrating. Cutting
Okay.
through the casing and then wheeling the doors open yourself.
Well, folks, it looks
I
like
can
it's
do
time
that.
to begin cranking.
So
I'll cut
Barker,
through
if
the
you
lock
want
and then
yeah, if you want to roll, whoever's doing the cranking, if you want to roll a body save.
I'll crank. 18 under 24.
Okay, so
Nice.
you start breathing pretty heavy, but you are not wearing yourself totally out.
I'm glad I quit smoking.
And you all that effort and you crank open these heavy duty emergency doors. Um,
Yeah.
open.
Yep.
Um,
Well,
and going inside, yeah, you just see these very dim emergency lights.
uh, well, we recognize this, right? They're all pretty much the same, these hallways. I localize my
Hmm.
little guy and say, I guess we're going this away. It's not too far now.
Okay, we'll have that direction. Keep your eyes and ears open. This would not be an easy place if it turned into a combat environment.
You, there's
As
only
you're
one way
going
out.
down this hallway, there's steadily more and more dust in the air, debris. The external sensors on your suit also start to pick up hints of smoke. Um, and there's this kind of bright glow ahead as you leave the habitation block that you landed on, and you go to the next hub. These are kind of like hub and spoke assemblages. So you reach that next hub, and you see that it has collapsed in on itself. Um, and there's this glow of this fire at the center of it. Um, within the debris, you see um, the ruined remains of the same kind of emergency collection point that you yourselves went to. And sticking out of this rubble, you see this tangle of limbs.
Yeah.
I'll immediately move forward and start moving stuff in case somebody is alive and injured.
Ew. Ew.
You don't have to look,
Okay, Becky. Don't say you.
So
Imagine if that was
gross.
you.
Those are dead
If you-
bodies.
They're not all necessarily dead.
That
If
life
you are in
cycle
distress,
comes-
please make yourself known. Move your arm, move your leg.
God, I
Lift
can't
stuff
look.
off.
I'll walk Becky back out into the hallway that we came in through. It's okay.
Should we take stress for seeing all these dead bodies?
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Everybody make a
That's-
fear save. That's
That's a good
Oh, nice.
Oh,
success.
Take-
13.
Success. Nice.
you're all at disadvantage.
yeah.
Oh.
Pally's just complete not being
Oof.
phased by
Nope.
this.
I've seen a lot of violence, but I've never seen it with an android beside me.
It's so
but
unnerving.
it was
So-
also a success. So 23
failed
and
the-
13.
I've actually failed the fear check. What does that mean?
So failing the fear check means that you're going to take stress from seeing this. So if you pass your fear save, yeah, you hold it together, you don't take any stress. If you fail, we'll say you'll take 1d6 stress. This is a pretty horrific sight.
3. Okay.
I pick up somebody's severed head and I say, "Are you in distress? Do you need help?"
I think
Pally,
it's
you're not helping.
I think it's too late for that one. But any of
Do we
these
find
bodies,
anyone still alive?
Yeah.
So under the mass of bodies and rubble, you do eventually come across a young woman who seems to like you hear this haggard breathing, this coughing, this choking.
There is a young woman. She is damaged, but
Yeah.
alive.
Extricate her from the mess, and we'll see if one of the dogs can do some first aid.
I'm not
Check
that
in.
kind of doctor, Mr. Hendricks.
Okay, well, get her comfortable. Watch for any neck injuries or.
There is a large steel beam that is pinning her ankle. I will try to remove it. I will need somebody to pull her out
I got her.
while I lift the beam.
Okay, Pally, do you want to roll strength?
Yeah. I got 19 out of 37. So it's not
Perfect.
easy, but I lifted up a couple of inches. So you,
Yeah, that's enough for me to slide her out here. Yeah, she's unconscious but breathing.
I will definitely, at that point, set aside my disgust and go help the injured person.
Yeah, you look, I mean, not only has her kind of the lower parts of her legs been crushed, she's covered with severe burns, um, and she is coughing horrifically. Um, but she is alive.
Due
Who
to
needs
the
a hospital?
location where we're finding her, she is definitely an inhabitant of the colony, right? Where there's no reason to
Yeah.
infer, yeah,
hmm Yeah,
otherwise,
she
yeah.
was here at this emergency collection point.
Yeah.
I assume we have gear in case we find people to put a mask on her so she can breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have, yeah, you definitely have some equipment to help survivors.
Can we call
Tourniquet
someone
for
to come
everyone.
collect her?
Yeah, you can put out that call.
Get her stabilized for now and
I will carry her back on the route that we just traversed and leave
put her
her
on the
at
top
the
of that.
ship.
Yeah.
That's where they should be coming to collect any. We're probably not alone. There's probably things
Oh
going
yeah,
on
there's
around them.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we're not trained medics, so should be better off in the care of trained medics, and then
So
we'll
I leave
continue
carrying
on.
her with me.
Well,
Don't panic.
Hey, we're
we
gonna
recovered a survivor, but our primary mission is to recover information from the crash site.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe the thing that crashed was some sort of escape pod.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
wouldn't be a bad idea to keep our eyes open. Let's wait till Pal gets back before we go any further, but maybe try that life signs detector again and
If it was an escape pod, wouldn't there be a distress beacon? Something to help you locate it?
I mean, in ideal circumstances, you never
yeah.
know.
That's for when it's floating in space. After it's crashed into the Earth, you never know if that equipment would survive the damage or not.
Well, can we
We also
check?
don't
I
know if they
mean,
Yeah.
ever even got a chance to get to escape pods. The whole thing blew up.
Exactly.
I'll
All right,
walk
I'm
around.
back in 5 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll wait for you here.
maybe there's something akin to a flight recorder too, and if so, that would probably also be transmitting.
Yeah, some kind of signal.
We'd be able to get
Any
information about what it was carrying and where it was headed.
any readings on the bioscanner, Keeper or Warden?
Yeah, so at this point you sweep it around and you don't get any other signs of life here.
Okay.
According to your count, um, from Polly's kind of grotesque search, there's maybe, I don't know, 25, 28, 30 individuals here.
And none of us are medical professionals, and so we might not be able to tell. But these people were killed by being crushed and smoke inhalation and stuff, right? That's what happened here.
Yeah,
That
I think
is
the building fell in on
that's
them.
fairly apparent.
Okay, you never know.
I think we'll be
But
heading
there
deeper
has
into the smoke when Pal gets back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. Any any sign of progress? She's still breathing where you when you left her?
Yes, and I managed to signal one of the rescue teams. They've probably got her by now. I immediately left and came back here.
Well, in the grand scale of things, that's still one small difference we made today, at least. Let's hope there's more we can do yet.
Okay. So the five of you leave this pad block And as you start heading towards the wreckage, and you start passing fires, you see wheat fields and cornfields and things burning and covered in dust and ash. Um, you find dead livestock. Um, all seem to have died from smoke inhalation. Their lungs full of dirt and blood.
Or things.
You come across people in the same way, some clutching at their throats, um, their twisted bodies on the ground.
I don't know how this colony is ever going to get past this.
I think they'll always remember this day.
You
Scientists,
find
if you don't mind me asking, does it seem like there are too many casualties? Shouldn't we find some people alive in this? The lucky few.
They may have already run for it.
That's true.
I think it's remarkable that we found one at all.
It's probably only by virtue of her being piled over top of by a few other bodies that made enough of a screen, probably. After this,
Unfortunately.
I'll
Seems
continue to
less than-
broadcast as we go.
yeah. You're not
Look
getting
at-
any other signals, are you?
Not a thing. We're the only living people, at least in the radius of this stupid box.
What
I'm
about
gonna look around
transmission?
in
Yeah,
the
go
in the
ahead.
wreckage also and see if there's any markings on any of it that might indicate what section of the ship it was.
okay. Um, I like that. Roll intelligence. I'd say I don't know what other skills you would have that would like make you
Makes sense.
familiar with like if you had like asteroid mining or something like industrial to recognize parts of the ship.
No, computers that no. That's
Yeah,
no.
right.
No, 94, no.
Okay. It all looks like metal, wires, pipes.
Yeah, it's all burnt to
Um,
hell.
Could I look at it because I have industrial equipment and hyperspace.
okay, perfect. Yeah, roll it.
So should I use industrial equipment?
Hmm.
Okay.
Probably add it to your intelligence.
Okay, so 30. And with yeah, success.
Okay, as you're going, you this is kind of what you find along a wide swath. This isn't all in one place, but as you're going, you're kind of taking notice of things. What you expect is like um, definitely what you could consider large like storage facility type equipment. You see like the mangled ruins of like a conveyor of some sort. Um, you find scaffolds, you find um, pipes, but then you start finding, I don't know, some of this seems out of place. Like it's this weird, I mean, it's hard to tell because this plastic is all warped and things, but it seems to be, I don't know, not storage of equipment, but storage of, I don't know, is this biological storage?
Hmm. Well, we know like livestock is, I assume, delivered occasionally,
Medical
right?
equipment.
Medical equipment.
Yeah, so it seems that whatever fell here was storing biological materials.
Well, let's see if we can get a sample of whatever poor thing has been turned into dust.
I actually do have a sample collection kit, so I'll pull out my little vial and my little spatula and start finding some goop if there's any caked on the inside of a melted piece of
Everything
plastic.
seems to have been burned.
Damn.
Burned to
Yeah,
crisp.
not surprising.
Even ash, is there any like specific ash or soot or sediment or carbonized matter?
Well, a lot of burning, falling through the atmosphere, the impact. It's
Totally fair.
That
but
might
what
be
you know is
actually a
that
good thing because there could be pathogens that
True.
were destroyed in the process.
True. Maybe there was some sort of horrible mega virus that broke out on the ship and they blew it up to stop it from spreading. I don't know.
Jesus, that's dark.
As you're going, you get another blip on the bioscanner.
I I have another reading. There's something alive. It's is it in the direction of the place we're going, or is it
It's kind of
off?
off. It's a little off, maybe 30 degrees or so out of
Okay.
your way, but
Well, if people are up for another detour, I figure it'll be another thing alive we save.
Let's go look.
Cool. So we head that way.
you go across this decimated field, and sticking out of the ground is this very tall, slender, um, cylindrical, almost egg-looking object. Has little fins on it. Um, that's embedded into the planet's surface.
And
You get
it's
through
the
the
thing
dust,
that's
see this
alive.
painted Cantwell Industries logo on it, and there's a small opening in the side.
Does it look
Are you
metal?
just are you
is that
describing
thing?
something that looks like a bomb or a missile?
Kind of looks that way. Um,
Munitions?
Is this the living thing? Is this what the bioscanner has picked up?
it's picking up something. It seems to be pointing to this.
Maybe it's an escape pod.
Doesn't
mean,
seem
it's
large
like-
enough for that.
Yeah.
How
What
big did you
materials?
say again?
Oh, sorry.
So it is. You think a few people could fit inside of this thing.
Okay.
Does it appear to be made of any specific material, metal or
It seems metallic to you.
metallic? Yeah.
But I think Becky has it right. This looks maybe like it could be an escape pod of sorts.
He said there's an opening on the side, currently opening into the interior. Okay. So if there's no one in there, they might have come out already.
He's getting a signal
I
from there,
think,
though.
Mr. Henricks, this is your territory.
Yeah. Keep your eyes open. If Johnson is right, then it could be some totally mutated monster in there waiting to jump out at us.
Or it could be an
be a-
injured person. Either way.
Let's not let our
Could be a-
imaginations run away with us. If you are in distress, please make some noise.
Yeah, there's no response.
I will approach to the side of it and kind of gently tap my hand on the outside of it near where that hole is for the entrance. Anyone home?
You hear the faint crackle of like a speaker or something turning on.
Hmm.
But you just hear the kind of the staticky hiss of silence.
Yeah, I'll
Kind of like
swoop my head under the entranceway and kind of crawl halfway into it, I guess. And
yeah, you crawl in and basically there's like a number of seats. Um, maybe four is what you can see. Maybe four people would fit in here. Three of them are empty. And one of them you see this person in this evac suit. It's kind of strapped into this chair.
jeez,
And you just hear
Yeah.
this. You can see like the suit is coming from the suit, this crackling noise. But they're not moving.
I'll hold up my hand back outside of it and make a one with it to the others. And is there enough room to crawl in deeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I
you
will.
can worm your way inside.
I'm gonna look for some kind of harness or anything holding them in and see if I can detach it. And does it appear like they have physical wounds, like they've been bounced around inside of it, or Just that they were lucky to get here at all.
Um, they weren't bounced around. Um, but you see like this, you look at the other seats, um, and they all look the same, but this one there seems to be some malfunction. Like the seat was supposed to be a shock absorber of sorts, but this chair is like crumpled down into the pod itself.
Yeah,
Are
it's very
the seat
interesting.
belts in the other three seats undone? Like somebody
Yes.
was in them and then
Hmm.
They left already.
Hmm.
I'll look around
Very well.
outside for evidence of
Yeah.
somebody walking away.
I mean, there's so much shit blowing around. Um,
Blood
Do
yep,
drips
no,
or
no
Well,
blood,
who
no anything, just three
who is
people
it
are
or
gone.
who was it?
can't tell. They have a mask on. Do electronics inside the shuttle still look operable
It's all
or
shut off at this point.
all shut off? Okay, I will start beginning the process of trying to ascertain how to take them out carefully without causing them any further grievance and I do not have any type of medical background or anything like that, but I still am aware that okay, I need to look for any punctures or look for anything to be wary of as I try to extricate them from this shuttle.
Yeah, as you start moving them, that crackle comes back on. Um,
You know, it's like is their way of communicating from inside the suit, maybe. You can hear me. I can't understand you, but stay calm. We're gonna get you outside here in a second. Yeah, can you move your toes, move your fingers at all?
there's just the crackle in response. Their limbs don't move.
Okay, hang on a minute here. I'm gonna get you out. I'll start dragging them outside the shuttle.
Yeah, you drag this out, and you see that now that they're outside of the shuttle, all of their suit and everything has Cantwell Industries um, logo and other sorts of like identifying markers.
Is there a
Any of
name
you,
tag?
No,
any of you familiar with Cantwell?
Well, apparently they can't ship shit well.
actually their success rate is very high. An industrial accident on this size, I don't think there's ever been a record of it happening.
Yeah, they're an industrial mega corporation. They manufacture things like fertilizers and precursors to all kinds of plastics and stuff like that.
They
Colony
have the
establishers.
they have the patents on all the DNA of all the crops you see all around us, all the special livestock, everything.
I can't imagine what would have gone wrong with their ship. If I find an access terminal that still is functioning, I might be able to ascertain what took place.
The speaker there on their chest that seemed to be crackling when I was pulling them out. I'm wondering if it's some kind of intercom from within the suit or some type of messaging.
Can we
I
see
think they're
through the mask? Or is it mirrored?
it's mirrored.
Oh.
You can
I
open
don't
it
think
up, see if they're,
I don't think we should rush to remove it, but it would be good to gauge some kind of pulse or
yeah. Are you picking up any life signs from this body?
Warden?
Yeah,
Heartbeat?
this seems to be once you've moved the once you move the body, your little bioscanners
Mhm.
move the little dot. Like
Yeah, this is definitely it. This is what we saw, but I don't know anything more specific than it's alive.
the
It's actually
force
really
of
interesting.
the force of the landing was enough to crush the seat right into the shuttle pod itself. So
Their spine may be broken.
their spine may be broken. They may have any number of other injuries we can't quite ascertain from this, but otherwise the outer shell of protective armament seems to be intact.
Yeah.
Is there a way we could pull off a glove maybe, or are there any detachable parts of its
There should
exosuit?
be. I'm surprised that the other three occupants left without assisting this person.
Yeah,
Um,
well, sure we could get more information if we find them.
it's incredible that they survived at all. Before we remove the suit and break the hermetic seal, is the outer, like, can we lift up the mirrored visor? Is it one of these two layered situations so that we can lift the mirrored visor but leave it still? I'm a little reticent to unseal things before we have a little more information about what's
Yeah,
in
you
there.
you you move up the mask and you see this face of this man twisted in pain, looking back up at you.
Is there recognition in their eyes, like if that they're seeing us, or reaction, I guess I should say?
Can we see if they're fogging up the, are they breathing?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the suit on them, whether they're breathing or not. They're pretty well designed to not fog up
Mhm.
when you're sealed into them.
I'm gonna try and examine that speaker on their chest again and see what was emitting the crackling sounds.
So as you're doing this, Barker, you see that this individual starts like opening their mouth and that crackle starts.
Hmm.
Like they're
Seems like
trying to talk to
Uh-oh.
you, but
hmm,
Um,
well,
got industrial equipment too. Can I see if I can initiate a repair on the speaker, if it's possible?
Great idea.
Might just
so
be loose wires.
yeah, if you roll something like jury rigging,
I don't have jury rigging. Um, I got a 19, but I'm not sure that I would have the equipment or knowledge.
yeah, so you start looking at it like it's like, yeah, you can't really ascertain if the suit's damaged or if they're not actually being able to articulate any words.
Marine
but if
Like the
Hendricks,
they,
speaker is picking up on the fact that they're trying to talk, so it's crackling on, but they can't say anything.
do
hmm,
the do the thing blink once, blink twice. Maybe you can get some response.
Can you hear us? Oh, he seems to be able to open his mouth. Is open your mouth now if you can understand me.
And yeah, they open their mouth and the crackling.
If we
right?
got them back to our shuttle, could we wire some of these loose wires from their speaker unit into some of our communications equipment just to use the speaker? I mean,
At this point, it's almost a half an hour walk back to our shuttle. Uh, I think that our mission is to go forward, but I could radio for a pickup.
Mm. Does the condition of this person seem to be getting worse? I don't know if we could tell that, if even the
You can't
bioscanner.
tell.
Okay,
No. This is a
Except they can't
bioscanner, not a
move.
medical scanner.
fair,
Um,
totally. I was wondering if the signal was getting slightly weaker,
No,
but no.
because he's unable to move fingers or toes or
yeah.
any body part. He may have a serious
Mm,
spinal injury. Even our removing him from the ship might have worsened
yeah.
his injuries.
We don't have a stretcher or anything. We should probably avoid moving him further. I think Palliate's right.
I think it's
Let me
important
try.
that we save him, but also I think, our mission is not specifically saving injured people. It's to try to
Let's
find information about this ship and
Sure.
let's put a
and
beacon on him
its
so that
cargo.
the medics can find him.
Maybe there's a few other quick, gentle questions we can ask him though. Uh, the three others with you, open your mouth if you know they landed and were able to leave the ship on their own.
yeah, I caught the tail end of that. I froze up
Oh,
for a
sorry.
second. So
Uh, um, the three who left on the shuttle with you, by the time you crash landed, If you can open your mouth and tell me if they were able to leave the shuttle of their own accord.
It crackles.
Okay, so there's three others from the shuttle out there we could find. Uh, is there any reason to believe that they may be disoriented or dangerous? Possibly dangerous to themselves?
There's no response.
Not sure how he would know that.
Or if he would
May
tell
have
us, maybe.
observing them maybe leaving.
Well, he can only give us yes or no.
Yeah.
I say open the mask up, unless he's gonna die.
Well, maybe we.
We are in full hazard gear, right? Even if there is
Yeah,
some
Yeah.
sort of
ourselves, yeah.
contagion.
Might die if we don't. So, I agree.
Me too.
Okay, so you are removing the visor.
Yeah.
Okay, you remove it, and you can hear this horrible raspy breathing.
Can you talk?
They try, but no, hardly any sound comes out. They start coughing.
Oh, don't try to talk then.
We're here to save you. Everything will be all right.
Do you have any knowledge of why the ship exploded?
Yeah, you hear that
Don't
crackling sound as they're trying to say something. Um,
Okay, so you do know something. I think
Yeah,
we
we
should
should
call
definitely. Yeah, we should definitely get this person to a hospital.
I'll attach a beacon to him so that the medics can find him. Bright, flashing red light.
palliate
Help
is
is on the
correct.
way.
We should continue.
you leave them in the dust, and you can those fainting coughs follow you as you walk away.
We should put the visor back down to prevent inhalation
Yeah.
of particles or smoke.
Yep, it's easily done. You put the visor back.
Make them as
You
comfortable
leave.
as possible.
hmm
I don't think they're feeling any pain. I don't think their spine is working any longer.
It's a mercy.
So-
Small mercies.
So now you're reaching now where there was burning and fields covered with dust. Now you reach this large kind of furrow in the ground. It's very deep, and it goes far off into the distance. Lots of earth and material has been plowed up.
This is the direction that the ship crashed.
Yeah. Now, is there any reason to assume that the three who left that shuttle might have found this themselves and followed it back to the ship? Perhaps they're meaning to retrieve something, or
Well, their wisest move would have been to go in the other direction, but I couldn't tell.
true.
I tried to see if I could find any footprints, but it's too much damage to the ground.
If that explosion was some kind of an act of sabotage or something, though, there may be other parties interested in retrieving flight recorders and such before us.
I
What are they
calculate
trying
that
to
the chances
conceal?
of I calculate that the chances that these four people have any knowledge of what happened on the ship to be extremely unlikely. There were how many people working on the ship? That
For sure,
size?
but out of
10,000.
everybody on the ship, which are the most likely to get off the ship when it explodes? Likely the people who'd known it was going to explode.
Yeah, I don't know how many people would be working.
Probably
Sometimes
not
these-
in the thousands.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
sometimes these
transport
container
ship.
ships are like, yeah, almost no one, like a skeleton crew.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So I suppose we should follow the furrow in the direction that the debris has come down in, right?
Yeah. And I'm looking for any kind of debris that looks like computer access panels or that might still be active.
Okay, so you're on the lookout for that kind of material. Um, Basically, as you're following this furrow, you're kind of going this gradual descent.
Ascending. Oh,
Um, and then you start seeing this. There's all this dust in the air now, but you see this distinctive black plume um, coming from ahead of you.
God, what is that?
It's horrible.
it's more than likely
Maybe
it's just
quite a
what
lot
we're
of
looking for.
toxins in the air.
I'll check
Burning
the
plastic.
life of my respirator, my filters, and everything. Sort of nervously make sure everything's attached.
Yeah, you get the stress as you.
Nice. I deserve that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will do a
you
casual once over of their equipment as they're walking along, make sure there's no deterioration of gaskets.
well, they're not gasping for air. If something
Yikes.
went wrong, they'd know it pretty quick.
I don't like this at all. Well, faster in, faster out, I guess.
Yeah, and in this black plume, there's like almost these translucent sheens of purples and blues.
Iridescent, like some kind of petroleum substance or something.
Lubricants, yeah. Lubricants and
Awful.
antifreeze.
Yep.
And you reach eventually the point where before you in this rather large crater in the ground is this twisted skeleton of part of a ship embedded in the ground. And it's from this that all of this stuff is material is billowing out of it. Um, in front of it, you see this pool of this unknown fluids seeping into the ground.
Oh, good God, what a disaster.
I'll definitely take some samples of that, being very careful not to get any of it on me. This will be interesting later if we come out of this alive. I'm sure somebody will want to know what happened.
I would suggest we make a detour
Indeed.
around this area. We don't want to get that on us.
Mm-mm.
Does it look like fuel, like space fuel, or not?
It's kind of tarry, kind of sticky.
I don't
Yeah,
think the ships use that
coolant,
kind of fuel.
lubricants, fuel. Like fuel is more, you'd more expect radiation.
Right.
I'm gonna get
I'm
some
gonna-
samples.
I'm going to take a tiny bit of it and try to set it on fire, see if it's flammable. Because if it is, we should get the fuck out of here.
I was gonna say,
The fumes could be.
yeah, so you,
If it's flammable, it should already be on fire.
I suppose.
yeah,
Well,
so
you never
Everything's
know.
on fire all around us.
yeah, I mean it burns, but it doesn't like suddenly
Explode.
combust.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna, I'm
It's
gonna
like
try
oil.
I'm gonna try to get a sample or several samples if I can, like in test tubes or sample containers.
Yeah, you take samples of it.
Ah,
And yeah, it's kind of like it's gooey, tarry, sticky.
Hmm.
God only knows what this
It
even
barely
is.
qualifies as a liquid. It's thick.
Yeah.
Oh,
To try to
Get it back
climb
to a
up to a
lab and
higher
have a look.
vantage point so that I can sort of survey ahead where we should be going. Maybe there's a
Mhm.
large part of the ship still intact.
Yes, so you start climbing up out of this cratery ditch thing that's furrowed into the ground. And as you climb up, you can see below you, kind of getting smaller and smaller, the four humans. And you see that from the top of this part of the ship that's kind of like caved in a little bit, like parts of the structure have fallen, and there seems to be some openings up here. Like there are ways to get inside.
There are egresses up here to this part of the module. Do you want me to try and get you inside?
I think we better have a quick look around at least. Is there any movement?
I don't know. I haven't gone inside, but I can go inside and come down lower and open up a hatch so that you can get in. So
That
that's
sounds
what I'm
good.
going to do.
But keep your eyes open. There could be three unknowns moving about the space as well.
I'll check the bioscanner as it is clambering along.
Yeah, you pop up the bioscanner and you get four dots read back to you.
You
In the Okay. There's some live ones in there, Palliate. Keep your eyes open.
More survivors?
Why
They're
would they have
live.
gone? Why would they have gone towards the source of the smoke?
Hmm.
Are you sure you're not picking up your own life signs?
I, th- I doubt it because they're not at our location. They're, if I don't mistake myself, in the structure ahead of us.
Right. I don't have a bioscanner, so I can't see where to go. So I'll go down to the point where I can open up a hatch that they can get through into
Okay,
the
so
structure.
you lower yourself into the structure and you faintly hear muffled through all of the material of the ship. It sounds like an explosion. Very soft, very faint. It has a kind of definite, like, concussive feel to it. Like the ship shakes a little bit.
I find a way to allow them inside.
Yeah, so you make your way down. Some of the floors have kind of collapsed in on themselves, so you kind of slide down. And you make your way down, and yeah, the rest of you see this hatch a little ways off the ground opens.
The big thing is we can avoid having to stomp through the pile of goo in order to get in.
I have noticed there was a sound. I don't believe the structure is stable, obviously. Uh, there may be things that are still volatile and exploding inside here.
Well, any of the industrial folks, can you lead us as quickly as possible to the flight recorders? As I climb up into the hatch opened.
Are you still getting the biosigns?
Yes, they're coming from deeper into the structure. And are they moving or are they stationary?
Three of them are moving, one of them is not.
Okay. Well, I suspect we might have found our three survivors from the crash pod. But the fourth sign I'm getting is static. And are they close together? Is it like the three are around the one, or the three moving in a group, or? You
They're
don't have
all
to.
scattered.
Okay. Well, let's keep
Two
our
of them
eyes
are
open.
together, two of them are moving. That's what we'll say.
Okay. Okay.
Would you like me to start broadcasting again?
I think that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will comply, and I begin broadcasting again.
Especially if one
Which
of
is-
Okay,
these
this starts to echo. It's deafening in this very enclosed space.
Yeah.
But the sound starts to echo throughout this hulk. And
one of the
Barker,
life signs is
the
non-moving,
life
then-
signs stop moving.
Oh boy.
They heard us. They heard us.
And then they start moving again.
I mean, if they're survivors, then we should go get them, right?
Do you think that this could be some sort of corporate, like, black op? Like these people blow up the transport ship and then parachute away?
I think they're back here to finish a job, to be honest, but
Hey, what kind of survivor gets out of the crash pod
And
and
goes back?
immediately returns?
exactly.
We don't know their state of
they're-
mind. They might be very confused.
You think they're working for the corporation and they're covering up evidence by destroying it?
I think something
Could
like
be.
that makes sense. Or trying to recover some particularly valuable piece of cargo.
Well, let's go get them. And we'll bring them out with us.
Just remember, eyes open. There's no reason if it is the three from the shuttle, we should expect that they're going to be similarly attired to that one. So we might not be able to communicate directly with them.
Okay. And as you guys are moving deeper into the ship, now is a good place to take our break.
5 minutes later.
So the five of you have entered the remains of this part of the ship. Again, you're picking up 4 life signs, two of which are stationary and nearby each other. The 2 others are moving, moving around.
I'll change my broadcast to, we have detected your life signs. We are heading to your site to assist.
Should we head towards the closest one? Or it seems like one of them is stationary and potentially injured. Should we head for that one?
I think we'll get to that one first anyway.
Mm.
They're
Again,
obviously following
Potentially.
corridors and stuff.
as you're going, stepping again, all of you hear this kind of this soft sound like an explosion again. And the ship shakes a
that?
little bit.
A distant explosion.
I mean, the wreckage of the ship is fairly sizable, but it seems to be somewhere else on this wreck.
Maybe
Something
someone's
has
setting
been
them in.
detonated.
Maybe someone's setting them intentionally. Like we suggested, someone destroying evidence. I mean, we're talking about potentially trillions of dollars of settlement money and everything here. If there's foul play at work, it's worth a lot of money to somebody to try and cover it up.
And
Well, the cartel.
with Pallier broadcasting, there becomes a certain point where it seems like they're actively avoiding us finding them, which doesn't.
Does it seem like they're trying to avoid us?
They're not coming to you, that's for sure.
Yeah. They might not want to be saved.
Could
Might
the
not want us to
explosions
see
be
what they're doing.
gunshots?
Say that again, Miriam.
Could the explosions be gunshots?
They don't have the same kind of like,
They're not as sharp.
they're not as sharp. Yeah.
But they sound muffled, you say.
They sound
or-
muffled. Like they're not close to you.
It could just be
They're
explosive
deeper in.
bolts.
Possibly.
But even so, why are they being set off at this point?
Maybe they're trying to stop some catastrophic failure of this part of the ship.
Hmm.
Perhaps there's bulkheads they're trying to get through.
Yeah. Oh, that too.
Makes sense.
But they don't seem to be coming back for rescue. Could we have stumbled on another rescue team?
I don't think these are ours. I think
They
I
would
think
have
we're ahead
identified
of.
themselves.
We'll be arriving at the other two in just a moment. They
Okay.
should be up and around the corner here.
Again, eyes open. We don't know what to expect yet. They may simply just need our help, but it might be something a lot worse than that going on.
So the five of you enter this rather large space. Um, there's sparks from electrical wiring. There's all these pipes. This water and other liquids are kind of spilling down um, into the floor, and dominating the center of the space is this large cylinder contained in this metal cube. There's this pale blue light filling the space.
Do we detect radiation?
No radiation. Um,
Do we see the living signals?
um, you look and the it seems to be pointing at the large apparatus in the middle of the room.
Some kind of containment tank? What is this?
Not familiar with it.
Whatever it is it operating? Is it continuing to function?
And all you see is this pale blue light coming from the inside. And you see this figure at the base of it, kind of right around the corner. And they're pulling out this large silver cylinder, fiddling with the end of it, and then they're slotting it back into place.
They're placing an explosive charge, gentlemen.
We'll call to them. Hey, you there. Maybe that's a
I'll
bad
move
idea.
forward to stop them.
I'll raise my
As you-
revolver.
You just hear the suit kind of crackles on, and you hear this. Leave here immediately.
We're a
What?
rescue team. We're here to help.
Well, unless you want a rescue team to come in after you, I suggest that you leave.
What are you doing?
My job. What are you doing?
Our job.
Are you attempting to destroy this wreckage? There needs to be investigations done to determine what was the cause of this disaster.
Listen. You're free to read over the contracts that you had with Cantwell. I am only undergoing what is proper emergency procedures.
I'm gonna take out my laptop and start recording video.
Oh, I've been recording it all.
Nice.
Does this guy look
Yeah.
armed?
I think it's important that he sees it, though. That's the thing.
Miriam, he's trying to come across as non-threatening, but you feel like they're capable of some pretty severe violence if they're really pushed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say to the rest of the people, like, I think we should leave this guy alone. I mean, we only have. I'm not gonna say we only have one gun, but I'm
Are
just
you
gonna sort of
kidding?
like.
Last
I'm not going to
question,
stand around and let this jerk commit some kind of environmental crime. I mean, look outside. It's already bad enough.
We are not
Hold on.
employees of the Cardinal Corporation. We are
colonists.
a
Residents
colonist
of the
from
colony.
Artemis. Artemis colonists.
Here's a question for you.
Have
Our
some
friends,
bad news for you then.
we've been getting bad news all day, but our scanner here shows 2 life signs in this room. Obviously, one of them's you. What's the other one?
Yeah, it's one too many questions, my friend. And they start reaching for something.
I'll
I'm
move forward
gonna.
to try to restrain him.
Hey, roll
Yeah.
combat for me.
My competence level. Oh, I got a 7 out of 29.
Okay, well, you tie, so roll again. That's how
Oh.
Mothership, I think, still works.
Oh, and I got a 92.
Okay.
GG.
So you move forward to restrain him as he pulls out this stout-looking box, and you see this pulse of light as your arm, Pally, that was reaching towards him, is blown off. So you can take a
Ouch.
wound.
All right. I'll shoot the person in the face if I can.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Roll combat.
Combat.
I'm gonna
is
try to
gonna-
run.
That's the smartest decision. Yeah, with firearms on top of that, I got a 66 here. And I got an 85, so I miss.
Ooh.
Something goes wrong anyways.
Okay, yeah, so you fire, you miss, and then he turns and points this at you.
Oh shit.
And yeah, this burst, you're not hit. You just see this burst of light, and the paneling behind you boils away. As he starts to move away from all of you.
Okay, retreat everyone, we gotta back off.
Holy fuck!
Retreat.
Oh my god, did he just shoot at you?
I don't know what kind of weaponry that is, but I don't think I think we're in over our heads here. We gotta regroup.
Is he running? Or is he staying in the room?
He's kind of fallen back, but he's not. He hasn't left the room.
Okay.
Again,
okay,
there's
okay.
this
Then-
massive apparatus in the middle of it, so he's kind of just.
Mhm. Can he still see the part of it that he was mucking with? Because maybe it's suicidal, but I want to try and see. Okay. Yeah, probably not worth it then.
No, let's retreat.
At this point, don't know for sure where he is.
Yikes. Let's get out of this.
Yeah,
I
let's go
agree.
back out the door we came through, or bulkhead. If we can close a bulkhead or put something between him and us.
This has got to be some kind of violation of the Interspace Environmental Treaty.
Okay, I think we have some violations of our personal treaty with being able to stay alive here. That's probably the more.
Well,
It is safest
Wilson-
for us to retreat.
safest for us to retreat. We have to report this back. If continuing an engagement with it only increases the chances that none of this ever comes to light. So retreat.
Yep.
Let's put space between us and him.
And I'd like
And
as
we'll-
much as possible to guide our retreat away from the other life signs so we don't accidentally stumble across them.
So we're just going to let them do what they're doing?
well,
Our ship, we
Not
don't
at
know
the
what they're
moment, Becky.
doing.
We can't stop him right now. We're not giving up, but we're also not. There's 5 of us against weaponry we don't understand. We don't even understand what they're doing.
yeah.
Was
Being
the guy
dead-
wearing a suit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
he
as
was.
the one we'd found.
Okay.
Well, maybe one of us should stay back and just like record what they're doing.
My power went out.
Oh no!
Oh no.
You want a break to set up your thing?
I mean,
Oh,
the
your
light
electric power?
is just off. Yeah, my electricity.
Me.
Wind.
It's the environmental treaty.
Give me
Yeah.
a second.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get some sort of light source.
No electricity, no camera. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he's got a camera. He just doesn't have any light in his room.
Is that what it is? Just
It's
went black.
dark.
Everything went black. Yeah.
The shot actually went past Dag and hit Miriam, and Miriam's been disintegrated. But
You could hear the switch from Wi-Fi to mobile signal to his router must have gone.
Well, as I'm not playing, but as we're walking around, am I finding any Android damaged in the crash?
I'm looking for a new arm.
New arm, yeah, because I can't clap anymore.
Yeah.
I'll help you clap.
Yeah, we'll address that once Max is back.
Nice.
2 minutes later.
Okay, the power just came back on, but it might go off again.
We'll do what we can do.
Forest fires? What's happening?
Okay, so
I'll
we
try to
have
be as suicidal as
Senate
possible.
Okay.
well, you could always do what Barker was suggesting. You could go look at the cylinder he was fiddling with.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at the cylinder.
I'm
I'm curious.
pull back,
with
Johnson.
Dr. Kane. I don't think we should just let these guys keep doing what they're
I'm
doing.
not saying we let them get away with anything, but
Someone has to collect evidence of what they're doing, because if they get away with it,
we're not going to let them get away with it. But we got to get
the environment on this planet is already fucked.
They may have set a time to charge. We don't know when it could go off any second.
I have explosives. I could try to defuse it.
But he's
You
still
could
in
also
the room.
blow it up. You could be there for 2 seconds and it goes off.
Love it, Dr. Johnson.
It's for the greater good.
I can't allow you to do it.
We could stop the biggest, biological heist in history.
The colony's already been hit. It's probably fucked. Is that whatever's going on here, the damage is done. You're right. Justice is important, but we got to survive to be able to enact that.
I mean, the colony needs us. If this thing blows up, they could be disseminating some sort of germ bomb across the Earth.
I think.
I mean, wasn't that what that guy was saying?
I think they may have been doing something on that ship that now they are destroying evidence of, as you earlier suggested.
Yeah, the thing that's in there could be some rare or genetically engineered life form, something they don't want other people to capture, that they don't want to escape. Or for all we know, he was just adjusting the life support parameters to make sure that it survived, putting it in hibernation.
Considering that we've heard a number of explosions in the distance, probably where those others are going, I think they're going through the ship and finding these things and destroying them. This one could go off at any moment. My programming won't allow me to let you go into that kind of danger. I think that we should reroute around.
Is it possible we could find another spot like this in the ship they haven't been to yet? Maybe
we don't have any kind of blueprints of their ship.
If the key was the biosign, though, this could be the very, very well be the last one. He only had 4 life signs, and we know there's 3 of them. So you notice that was the thing that tipped him off, is talking about the life sign.
Yeah, at the very least, there's 3 other people in there that need rescue.
Yeah. Well, if the 3 are the other 2 are like this guy, I don't know if they're interested in what we have to offer by way of rescue.
Okay.
Our secondary objective is information, and for
even if there's just one.
One could surmise that if they are alive and mobile, they don't need our rescue.
Oh, power went out again. God damn it.
Nice.
So as we're having this conversation, I'm guessing that we have pulled out of the room, at the very least firing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, you've retreated into the
the
corridor.
vestibule or the next corridor, yeah.
And as far as we know, the guy is still in there. Palliate, Kane, and Hendricks are of the opinion that we should retreat. Johnson and Martin want to go in and examine further.
And I don't think that I can let you do that because I need to protect your.
Mhm.
He's a
I think,
hostile.
yeah, but I, as Kane, value Martin's right to make their own decision, and will
You can
try to
override anything
restrain.
that I
Yeah,
want to do. Yeah.
yeah, I'll try to restrain you.
Well, you just tell me not to.
Yeah, you can't stop us. You can
we
express
should have
your
them-
I can't.
desire not to want us to, but technically, when it comes down to it,
Just say my
You do it,
first
we-
instinct is to stop you physically, and if you tell me to stand down, then I have to stand down.
Fiat Lux.
It's like we keep
Awesome.
catching you.
Yes.
This damn emergency lighting.
Yeah. So unreliable.
If he can't stop me, then I will go in and see if there's an explosive in there.
I highly recommend that you don't do that, but I can't stop you.
Well,
We
noted.
we do have a primary mission. Is what we're getting. We're being paid. I understand that you have different connections to this colony than I do, but
We have to recover whatever we can, know what we can know.
Yeah, so you creep up to this block, and you find one of these. There's a number of these little cylinders on the side. Oh, did this power go out again?
all must have.
Let's just-
Yeah.
You're still there. You can see us,
Yeah,
can't you?
all right.
I can still hear and see you guys. I'm just on my phone. So
Let's keep
Okay.
going.
So, yeah, you walk up to one of these silver discs, and you see that there's these little warning on it. It says like danger, explosive. And it says for like emergency release.
yeah, I'm gonna try to defuse it.
So you. Oh, that's my cat blocks over everything.
Is there any sign of the hostile?
Oh my
Is there a
god.
blip?
You can
is there a blip
see me a
on the
little
thing?
bit.
Is there
No,
a blip
the-
on the bioscanner where he is?
It's hard to now that you're so close to the cylinder. The cylinders, the scanner's just like life. Um, so it's not really
I've never-
reading anything else at this point.
Not to
Never
mention
seen
there's phone
anything like
signals
this.
in there now.
so
Um,
he's
so-
rigged. He's rigged an IED from like a explosive door bolt or something.
So yeah, so you want to roll jury rigging for me, Miriam?
Could I do explosives? Oh, jury rigging does go into explosives. Okay.
Do you have explosives?
Sounds like
Yeah,
you
that
have
was
explosives.
the trained. Oh wait, that's an expert skill. Yeah, I get one master, one expert, and one trained, right? As a scientist. Oh
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my expert skill.
Okay, yeah, you can roll with that bonus.
All right, perfect. No, I completely failed.
Yeah, you want to roll a body save for me?
Oh, 31, and that's against body.
Body.
Yeah, no, that's not a pass.
Yeah. So the other four of you watch as Miriam goes up, reports back that yeah, this looks like, as Becky kind of guessed, they're jury rigging from some kind of emergency release bolt. I suppose, how much health do you have, Miriam?
Um, Uh, health. Wait, is that a stat? Oh, I forgot to roll that. Okay, so 1d10 plus 10.
Yeah, it'll be 2 wounds, and then health will be.
So I officially have 16 health.
Pretty good for something.
Well, you will take 1 wound um, as you accidentally, in your attempt to defuse, set it off while you're holding it.
Ouch.
Now
So,
you
Oh my god.
fuck.
That was so loud.
yeah.
Jump scare.
Nice.
So Miriam is thrown back across the room.
Mhm.
You used to have hands.
No.
Well, this isn't going to be very good for my career prospects.
You
Yeah,
can't
so-
clap either.
Yeah, so you have caused severe damage to your hands and arms. You've probably cracked several ribs. Your suit is completely compromised at this point. And you are in excruciating pain. Everybody can
Okay.
get 1d4 stress
Yeah.
for watching Miriam blow themselves up.
A +4 stress.
I will reach down with my left arm and pull Miriam away, probably by the ankle.
Holding my revolver out, I'm going to cover Palliate and just watch for any other trouble in the room. And we need a full retreat. We got to get. Our job is to help survivors. If we become the ones needing help, then we're failing here.
Yeah, we got to save ourselves before helping others.
Oh no, Dr. Johnson.
That's what we said 5 minutes ago, and now Dr. Johnson is handless.
I'm just going to throw up blood on Becky.
Oh, God.
Come on,
Ugh.
get them out of here.
Go, let's go.
All right, you were right. You were right. Let's go.
Dr. Johnson's lucky she's a theoretical physicist and doesn't have to actually use her hands for anything.
Was there any damage to the cylinder machinery, or was it just to Dr. Johnson?
Well, it would have done damage to the machinery had it been pressed against it, but
Oh boy.
Miriam picked it up,
Nice.
Does that mean
tried
there's
to
still
disable
other?
it.
Is there still other explosive devices attached to it?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it truly was for nothing.
Yeah.
Can we see what's inside of it without setting off the bombs?
Good question.
Inside the tank, it's pretty murky. It's hard to tell what's in there.
You said tank?
Cylinder,
Do
bluish,
we have
it's
the-
glowing blue.
Do we have the idea that it might have liquid inside? It might be.
You seem to get that impression
Yeah.
from
Do
some
we hear
unknown,
sloshing?
like some
fine.
vibe from the universe called
Yeah,
it a
yeah,
tank. So now you're like,
Tank,
oh, maybe
tank.
it's something's
It's-
in there.
Yeah.
Is the thing, does it resemble the goop we saw outside in color, or
I think that was fuel and oil and goop.
Yeah, it's so this tank is glowing a pale blue, which the more you think about it, almost is this bioluminescent blue.
That's why I was afraid it was radiation because
Yeah.
of the glow, but we don't
Trying to-
detect any radiation.
I'm gonna tentatively
blow
put
it
my
out.
hand against the tank.
How
Maybe even
many
tap
people
against.
am I going to have to carry out of here?
How many hands are going to be short by the end of this?
is the
Ugh.
bogey still in the room?
You don't know where he went.
Oh no.
Well, considering that he set bombs, he probably ran away as quickly as possible. Those other bombs could go off at any second, folks.
I'm going to stay back and try to staunch the bleeding from Dr. Johnson's stumps. It'll be okay.
I think my
Just
radius and ulna have detached.
If you'd
Are
plack
there-
out
Dr.
anything.
Are there other terminals in this room that we could access, or any other computers?
You look at the
Okay.
computers and they've all been smashed.
Smashed like someone was trying to smash them, or smashed like they were in
These
the
look
crack?
these look intentionally sabotaged.
Okay, this is out of control.
Pretty sus.
Any chance these might have had backups that we could trace, or secondary
huge ship.
systems? Huge ship.
It's
Yeah.
a huge, yeah.
You gotta
Somewhere there might
stop
be
these guys,
access.
Mr. Henricks.
Well, I'd like to them, but you saw it blasted off Bellyate's arm. This is pretty fucked up.
I'm not asking you to defuse a bomb, but you're the only one of us who can use a gun. These guys are criminals.
Wow. I still don't know for sure if we shouldn't be letting them do what they are attempting to do. The way they're going about it makes me feel like, I agree with you, like, yeah, we should be stopping them, but they're not explaining, so I don't know if they're trying to avoid a worse catastrophe or just cover up some corporate
They
evil that
they said that they were working for um,
Cantwell.
the corporation. They thought that we were.
Hmm.
If this is their ship and they're taking care of problems on the ship, I'm not sure that intergalactic law would be on our side.
Well, there are species that it's illegal to export from their home planet, and there are, of course, perverted collectors who will pay anything. And Cantwell can be pretty private about the contents of their shipping. It could be that this is something that's illegal just to possess, and they're trying to cover their tracks.
If the explosions that we heard are also other tanks such as this, they seem to be widespread out across the ship,
Hmm.
which wouldn't make much sense if you were trying to illegally smuggle something.
It's true. It's true.
I'm not sure that this is what our job should be. Our lives are in danger at this point. We are in a room full of explosives.
I agree. About how long is it? I mean, it's like an hour on foot to get here, at least. So it's a fair haul back, and we're
Well,
down
if we get
several
doc-
limbs.
If we get Dr. Johnson outside into the open, we should be able to flag a medical ship,
Very good.
or we can pursue the people inside the ship. I think that would be folly.
I know it's
Becky.
dangerous, but I don't think. I mean, I still think we have a prerogative to do the right thing.
You're
I
probably
mean,
right.
I think.
but
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
If we keep going, I'm gonna die.
Okay, okay.
I
Miriam,
need a fucking hospital.
I think I found a piece of your elbow over here.
Oh God.
I thought it was just his hands, a couple of them. Her hands.
Forearm joints. Yeah. There's
All right, yeah, let's get Dr.
Wow.
Johnson to a hospital.
I think right now our prerogative is to save the colony, and that means saving ourselves. That is the right thing to do here.
how much footage did you get on your laptop there, Becky? Maybe we got something enough already to point a pretty good finger at these Cantwell bastards.
I mean, it's maybe, but I don't think it's enough to really drive it home. We need something really, incriminating.
The entire situation was recorded. I'm always recording.
Well, wait a minute, but we did recover the fourth of this party, presumably the one that we found, who has hopefully been picked up by now by another rescue team, will know everything that this one knew.
Assuming they recover, right?
I'm assuming they recover. At least
And
we know they
assuming-
can't shoot at us.
Assuming that the others didn't put that one in the position it was in.
Hmm. True. I suppose we're having this conversation as we're
Yeah,
As you're
yeah.
exiting.
carrying.
Trying to get
Yeah.
outside. Yeah.
So as you leave the ship, you hear this series of explosions, and the wreckage of the ship collapses in on itself.
Hmm. Well,
The ship
Check
is
for
collapsing.
check for life
That-
signs again inside.
Where the area we just came out of.
Yeah, like the ship's collapsing in on itself.
Ugh.
the
Could've been
beams must
us.
have been booby trapped. Yeah. And as Hendrik suggested, I check for life signs in the ship. I'm imagining the whole thing is much larger than 100 meters, which is more or less the radius of the bioscanner. So I suppose I can only pick up stuff on our little end of it next to the hatch we crawled out of.
So you scan the ship and you get one life sign.
Is it moving?
It seems stationary.
I wonder if one of our cylinderated friends has survived. Hmm. Are we in a position to flag down a rescue shuttle for Dr. Johnson?
You request a rescue shuttle. There's still problems with the amount of debris um, this close to the crash site.
I will
as
carry, if necessary, I will carry Dr. Johnson to an open area where they could land.
Okay. Are the rest of you following, or what are the rest of you doing?
I think I'm going to take a post around the remains of this ship and see if anything tries to leave it.
I'm going to stay here as well.
I'm going to help with Dr. Johnson.
Good luck, Becky. Don't worry, we'll find a way to get you your justice.
Yeah, we will.
Dr. Martin, you seem to have developed some courage. When we first landed, you were almost in tears over the sight of a number of dead bodies. Now you are quite gung-ho in hunting down these horrible people who've damaged us. Oh, and I
Somebody's
just
got to
realized
stand up
that
for all these.
I'm trying to
all these-
carry Dr. Johnson with just one arm.
Somebody's got to stand up for all these poor people that died. Not to mention, I mean, this is a priceless biological artifact, this planet. And now it's going to take decades at minimum to recover all this. And I just can't stand by and let a company try to shovel it under the rug.
So, going back over to Barker and Dag, you're kind of at the wreckage. And Barker, the one solid life sign, while it's not moving, seems to be getting weaker and weaker.
It's fading on us, Dag. It's fading. We gotta, if we're gonna recover it, we've got to go in for it.
We move in?
Um,
Okay.
I think we have to. There's nothing else that I see in there. Our friends must have either been crushed, which suggests fanaticism, or escaped. So at least they're not stupid enough to follow us in.
Can you send a message to Martin and Palliate and tell them we're advancing if...
Aye, aye, aye. We're going in, folks. Becky, you'll have your justice.
I
So
wouldn't suggest that you do that. It's highly dangerous.
We may be seeing our last window of opportunity to understanding this fading on us right now.
We have to know what happens, even if it's, well, we have to solve even if we don't survive.
Let's do this. We're going in.
We're going in.
Okay, so Barker and Dag, you start to make your way onto this ruined shell, and you can
Collapsed.
feel it casing and moving beneath you. It's no longer solid. All these metal plates. It's very structurally unsound, this collapsed pile. But you manage to make your way over and down into this, back into this chamber. The cylinder has been cracked and twisted, and you see this glowing blue viscous substance dripping out of it. It's all over the ground and it's seeping through cracks in the floor.
I swing the bio scanner around on my shoulder strap, whip out the collection, sample collection, and start
Yes.
scooping up the goop. And I'm
Collect
looking
those
into the
samples.
crack. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be through the cracks. It seems to be reaching the soil of the planet and seeping into it.
Ooh, I don't like this, the seeping and the soil and this is maybe not so good, Dag. Becky might have been right.
Hey, anyone in there?
There's
Make
no
a sound.
response.
Hmm. Is so there is there's like there's just goop in
There's
the
just goop.
cylinder.
Mhm.
Oh God. Oh God. Well, Dag, we might have well, how can I guess I'm just gonna ask straight out, is the goop alive? Is the goop the living
Yeah, that
thing?
could be our.
The goop is, in fact, the living thing.
Okay. I love some living goop. I think we have what we came for, Dag. I think we gotta try to get out. Um and I'm gonna send everything I can about it to Becky and the team. Let them know what we found here.
You might
Anyway,
not
if
want
it's
to. You might not want to hand that over to authorities right away.
no, no. And I'll slip one vial of it into like a hidden pouch in the has suit.
Some of that goop to a lab so we can get a look at it.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of it here, though. Some of it might come into the soil, and who knows what'll happen then. Not living goop.
No, I think we got what we came for then. Let's
Agreed.
get the hell out of here before this whole thing falls apart.
Agreed. So we're booking
Okay,
it.
okay. So, can both of you roll speed for me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Will athletics help?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
17
Yes.
under 39. Yeah.
39 under 41.
Okay, so you managed to carefully scramble your way back out of this wreck. Um,
Lucky. We're lucky bastards, Dag.
That
I
we
should
are.
stick by you.
Good work, Barker. You did well in there.
Thank you. So did you.
I'm not sure how this will get us the justice that I promised Becky, but hopefully it's one part of the puzzle.
It's one part of the puzzle indeed. At least we'll know a little bit more about what they were trying to conceal. And we'll head towards the direction that Palliate was taking Miriam and Becky.
Yeah, you can pick up our life signs, not mine. I don't have any.
Yeah.
Got any off-planet prospects, Barker?
Well, we'll see. There's this There's this girl in Ipsilon 9 that I've been talking to. We've been exchanging letters, and after this, we might take a long vacation together.
I think that might be a good idea.
I think
Get the
so.
feeling there might be more changes than we expected coming to this place.
Yeah, Artemis. I don't know. I can't think of a pun right now. I'm too frazzled, but it's not going to end well for her, I don't think.
It's been a long day.
Long day. But you, Dag, what are you going to do when we get out of this?
I don't know. There's always contracts out there. Find work with somebody. Ain't gonna be Cantwell, but plenty of other firms. Been looking up this few other corps. Yeah, there's always work for someone willing to stand behind a gun and pull a trigger.
I admire that. I admire your opportunism.
See the others yet? I don't know if they're.
I
Yeah,
think they should be just around the corner.
You see Becky, Hallie. Johnson has gone pretty much catatonic at this point.
Blah, I'm catatonic.
That's why we can't see her.
She appears to be catatonic by the sounds of it.
Yes,
She's blacked out, so she can't see us.
that's it.
And you are just, you were sitting in the midst of all this. Again, this wreckage of this ship is still billowing out that blackish smoke. It's still leaking that strange fluid. Fires burning all around you.
Mm.
And eventually, an ambulance shuttle arrives.
Thank God.
We tried to stabilize her, but she seems to be in the dark.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Somebody could give us a hand over here, or maybe two.
Ah.
Or three. I think you need three.
Yeah. Hands and an arm.
The disarming situation. Oh, thank you.
Okay. So, what many people living on Artemis might not know the intricacies of all their infrastructure. The colony gets much of its water from rains and what have you, but that rainwater tends to be stored in underwater aquifers.
I see where this is going. And did the goo leak into the aquifer? And now we're all going to drink of the goo water.
Habitation Zone 8 happens to sit on top of the largest
Sick.
aquifer.
Awesome.
Whatever the
Habitation
substance
Zone 8
was
the one that got destroyed, right?
Yes.
whatever the substance is that you saw leaking into the soil, that's just one of a million different toxic chemicals that have now leached into the soil with the wreckage. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have the unique organic properties of this toxin that are going to be interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
it just means that the Cartnell Corporation will provide us with highly expensive water purification units. And
I think
They'll
it might
still make
provide
money.
us with letting us die. Frankly.
well, they've lost quadrillions of dollars on the equipment and everything.
So the thing I'm wondering is if that explosion had been allowed to happen as that agent intended to, would this contamination still have occurred? Or would have all that goo been vaporized and
Or
I think
maybe he
that's
was
the-
trying to blow a hole in the tank to let it all leak out. I mean, the charge wasn't big enough to blow the whole thing up. It was only big enough to blow up Dr. Johnson.
Mm,
Well, there were multiple charges, though, and they were probably coordinated to all go off at the same time. It's just that Dr. Johnson fiddled with one of them. And
mm.
Hmm.
And if he wanted to release it, he probably could have just opened the faucet and let it pour out.
right. Yeah, he probably wanted to vaporize it.
Mm.
And
I
that's what
assume
damaged the structure of the building.
I assume any laboratory facilities that we could use to try to analyze the goo that's been collected are not operational at this point.
Currently, everything is um, under emergency lockdowns and evacuations, so
As
there's no
part of my
labs.
loadout, I have a cybernetic diagnostic scanner. I don't know what that is exactly, but
You could
could
assess
I?
the damage to Pally.
Yeah, that's for androids.
All right. Oh, yeah, I'll use that.
Apparently, my arm is missing.
Pally, you're gonna need a new arm.
That could be easily replaced. My cognitive
Yes.
functions are fully functional.
Well,
Hmm.
we might have to go
That's
about
why
this the old-fashioned way. So, Barry, go ahead, Becky.
I was done.
Uh, when I can get to a private place, I want to open up the goo, pour some of it onto, like, I hope I can find at least a petri dish or something. Pour it out, poke at it. Does it respond to stimulus? Is it still alive? I guess first with the bioscanner.
It is still alive.
Okay, then I'll poke at it with a spatula or a little pencil or something.
Yeah, when you prod it, it moves itself out of the way.
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
think
smell.
you're going to smell it. What
I
did you say?
mean, I said I was going to smell it. I'm trying to think of everything I can do to get more information about it
Short of
with
ingesting.
short of it. Well,
You,
Why don't
you
we
know,
fly our shuttle into the farther into the wreckage and see if we can find some information we can download? Surely there's got to be a few computer circuits have to have survived the crash.
mhm.
At
I
some point
think
we
those
should
people were killed.
at some point we should check on that survivor we pulled out of the pod that did make it of them.
So, just to clarify my picturing of what's going on here, we've been picked up from the wreckage, all five of us, by the ambulance shuttle.
Yes.
It's brought us back to potentially whatever is functioning as a temporary infirmary. We've dropped off Dr. Johnson. I'm playing with the goo in a secret corner, and the proposal is that we can recover our shuttle and proceed deeper in to attempt to recover information from whatever surviving computer banks there are.
We want to know what's going on.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
That
What
was
does
kind of
our
originally our
yeah? Can we check in with our handler, for lack of a better term, the colony director?
What would you like to check in about?
well, log
we
all
can
of the crimes done against us.
exactly report everything we've seen and found.
Well, this is deeply, deeply troubling.
Do you know anything about this? Could there have been any? Well, do you know anything more than we do about the contents of the cargo ship?
No,
Have
I mean, that's what we needed to find. I don't know anything.
Well,
You
we
have the
should return.
possibility of a major contamination issue now.
It's true. It's true.
It may be time to start looking at larger scale evacuation, possibly abandoning Artemis altogether.
I was afraid of that.
Well, the fleet should be arriving in a few days to help in evacuation.
In the
Leave.
meantime,
We're a long way. It takes a long time for anybody to get anywhere.
I would like to uh, see if we can get farther into the control center of the ship and possibly find a way to download, or I don't know how we store information, like chips or
Looking for
hard
hard
drives.
drives.
Yeah.
Hopefully those discs have survived the crash. They can be pretty fragile.
Some of them will. Some of them can be recovered.
I'll come
I
with you,
think
Palliate.
I think I'd like to get into a lab and start working on the samples that we collected.
Don't get yourself killed. If they find out you're doing that, they don't want you to know.
Huh.
I'm gonna try to track down our survivor, maybe. See what ambulance they got picked up by, see if I can track to what facility they're receiving care.
I'll have to do it, even if only for Dr. Johnson.
Have they installed artificial hands for
So we're gonna move kind of towards the end here.
Mhm.
Say the following. Um, Pally, Dag, Barker, when you return to the wreckage, you do not find any surviving data. It seems that, like, yeah, perhaps if the ship had not been collapsed, you might have been able to find something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, you can't seem to find anything. Becky, your work in the lab is a little bit odd because when you start to run tests on the goo, it comes back with a patent.
Like the chemical that is composed of is a patented chemical.
It is.
And let me guess, the company that owns the patent.
You'll never be able to guess what it is.
Yeah.
Never in a million years will you be able to guess.
And okay. And what is this chemical used for?
Pretty much everything about the patent doesn't give it a use. Um,
Uh,
it is a biological compound patented by Gaia Research Group.
Mhm.
it's fucking brain nanites or some horrible thing like that.
Is it numbers 1 through 10? Is it
Yeah.
coming out of its dream?
that would be very unusual because, I mean, a patent is, in essence, the application of a technology to something. So if it is not for anything, that would be like a very odd patent indeed, and probably shouldn't exist. But okay,
Pretty suspicious.
very suspicious.
Mhm.
Yeah. We have to be careful who we tell this to, though. And that's what this blue stuff is. What about the stuff that was like jet fuel that was like burning around the crater of the crash?
Oh, that is just a number of industrial solvents, lubricants,
All right. All right. Well,
other
then
chemicals you don't want to ingest.
I will
Toxic waste.
call up the rest of the crew, Dr. Kane and Mr. Hendricks and Palliate, and I will say, guys, I was able to definitively identify this chemical, the glowing blue stuff. It's some kind of patented formula, and you'll never guess who patented it.
Who was it?
The company who owned the ship.
The Gaia
No,
Research Group.
it was Gaia Research
Cantwell?
Group.
Yeah.
No, I think Cantwell, right, is what the ship
Was it
was.
Cantwell or yeah, the Cantwell was the ship, but was the patent?
I'm pretty sure it was Cantwell. That's who we decided it was.
So Cantwell owns the ship. The goo
Yeah, it belongs to Gaia.
is
Patented by Gaia
belongs to
Research.
Gaia.
Gaia. Okay. All right.
Mm.
So
The
Gaia then.
computer android people.
But it was Cantwell's goons who were trying to destroy it, so there might be some collaboration.
You never
Yeah,
know.
They
I've
were
heard
trying to cover it up.
Gaia has a huge number of subsidiaries and shell companies associated with it.
But I'm reading this patent, and it does not specify what the stuff is used for at all. Just some kind of unique formulation.
Well, so we can say they make a good point. So the patent of the stuff, um, it tells you it's archival materials.
Hmm.
It's android memory or robot
Fluid memory.
computer memory.
Long live the
Well,
new
that's
flesh.
interesting. Maybe there's a way you can extract information from what the sample you got.
Is there any indication of like what the environmental effects of fluid memory are on the soil?
Oh, it's Gaia. The whole planet is going to become one organism. Yeah, Garden of Eden, like make all of the things talk to one another.
Or
Maybe.
it'll just turn into a big primordial soup, one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't think the intention was to
whatever
affect the
whatever
planet.
its functionality is, it's made out of some pretty toxic substances.
Mm.
Like if you ingested this, you would likely die after vomiting up blood for quite some time.
Nice. Nice. I think we should. Well, I guess we have two options. Do we report this back to our superiors and let Artemis and by extension Cantwell deal with it? Or do we go rogue and chase this down as the squad of intergalactic
We
Gaia
have
conspiracy solvers?
we have nothing at our means that we could do anything about it. We have to turn it over to people more capable of.
But we have pluck and
government.
expertise.
Yeah, I don't think so. They'll just exterminate us.
But we'll have died doing what we love.
Now we'll have died for nothing.
That's fair.
We have
Dr.
a
Johnson.
combined 13 hands between the five of us.
I'd like to get back to my robot boyfriend and spend some time.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
History will remember the Artemis disaster. Of the 100,000 colonists, between the damage caused by the orbital debris, the loss of its food supply, the contamination of its water, those who could evacuate the planet survived and lived to tell the tale. Most, however, were left behind. Of the 100,000 residents of the colony, only 5,000 survived the incident. Things are passed around the legal system, but Cantwell never accepts responsibility. And in the end, the colony itself is dissolved, so there's no legal entity to be subject to. The lawsuit fizzles. To this day, Cantwell still delivers to the Outer Ring. And that is the end of our story.
It might be the
Fucking Gaia.
darkest, the darkest
It's-
mothership ever.
How is it the darkest story, but yet the highest survival rate?
The corporations
Of player
win.
characters.
Oh,
The corporations win.
It's not dark. 5,000 people survive.
yeah.
And there's excellent chances that we were all within that 5,000.
I hope
Oh.
so. I want to figure out what the goo is. I'm invested in this Gaia mystery.
You'll work
wanna
for
learn-
Gaia.
Have you watched my other Mothership games, Preston?
I haven't watched any of the ones besides the one that I was in with the dreaming androids,
Yeah.
the Genesis one.
Yeah.
So,
Gaia
Yeah, it's
keeps
like the
showing
least
up.
dark one yet.
yeah,
They're very good. I highly recommend it.
I'm excited.
Our players included Preston Firestone, Stefan Amshi, Mike McKinn, Max Meltzer, and myself, with Morgan Llewellyn as the game warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the strange and sometimes terrifying universe of the Mothership role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.